Well, I've been hesitant to say it, but 29th of March, 69 degrees. I think I can. 100% survival this winter. I think I can officially say that. Let's dig inside. A lot of pollen out there, a lot of dandelions out there. Let's dig inside and see what's happening. We want to stay ahead of things here, so let's get started. Okay, I want to apologize at this point. The wind picked up and the voice is just really hard to hear amongst the wind out there. It's March still, and we do get heavy winds quite often. So it is hard to hear the video on this. So I will be doing a voiceover here in the shop. Sorry about that, but we'll try to capture everything we did during these inspections. What I'm looking for, and of course this is the first inspection of the season, and so I'm going through every single frame in every single box. The temperature's warm enough, like I said, it's 69 degrees, so I'm going through every frame in every box. Now the kind of things I'm looking for in this inspection is, number one, looking for queen cells. Obviously you want to find if there's any sign that they're getting ready to swarm, that they're making a new queen, those type of items. You want to stay ahead of it this time of year because they are building up fast. There's a lot of brood in these hives, so you have to stay on top of it. Here we see a lot of bee bread in that frame there. The other thing I'm looking for is nectar in these hives. Are they backfilling with nectar already? Yes, this is 29th of March. It's way early to have nectar. I've never had nectar issues in brood box this early in the season. But what we're going to see here is that is about to change. As I go through this inspection frame by frame, this particular one here, you can't really see it. I don't have it at the right angle, but there is nectar. That whole frame is wet and full of nectar. When I say nectar, this time of year, the nectar is a very, very wet. That means it's fresh. It's just coming in. If you shake the frame a little bit, it actually drips out of the comb. In fact, that's what happened here. In a little bit, I'll try to zoom in on it if I get a chance, where the nectar did land on the frames as I moved them around a little bit. It's very liquid still. It has not been turned to honey or anything like that. It's still very, very fresh. See on that frame there, a lot of brood. I've got quite a few of those frames. Well, all my hives, as it turns out. There's a lot of brood in these boxes at the moment. Now what you see here in the corner up here, you see all those bees? That's a good indication the queen is probably up in that corner somewhere on one of those frames, right up in there. When you see bees clustering like that, I've smoked them down a few times and they keep coming up. So that's a good indication that the queen is down there somewhere. So we'll dig down there a little further and see what we can find. The queen, oh, there she is. Man, every time I say something, she's right here. Make her out there. Heading down toward the bottom of the frame. Beautiful queen. Last year. Sassafras queen. gently put her back in there. And look at the last frame here. And this frame does have a little more weight. Like I had said, starting to put a little bit of nectar in it. Now I have to decide if I want to super this yet. Given all the dandelions that are just now starting to take over the yard, which is fine with me, and the warmer temperatures, I don't see any nights below freezing. I think I will throw a super on this box. And what I've done, well, I'll show you that in a minute. Show you what I've done. Let's get this other frame back in here. Okay, before I put that super on there, let me get rid of some of this burr comb. And we will save that. That's not going to go anywhere. Well, out of the hive, but all the bees off of it. We will super this here. Get those bees gently here. Let me show you what I've done here. Here's a frame, hard to say, got a lot of wax on it, heavily waxed frame. And then next to it, I'll have one, well, this particular case, it's partially drawn out, and I heavily re-waxed the sections next to it. There. You can find some of these more than have more wax than others. Obviously, as you can see, that one you can see good. Put a lot of wax on the places where there was no comb. There's one here. And of course, mixed in, I've got regular comb. Now, if they start filling this up with honey, I'll remove one of these frames once they start building them out. But we'll discuss that later. And if they do happen to lay brood in there, I am not really upset about it at this point in the season. They have more space. That's the important thing. Okay, see how busy this hive is? I may be supering this hive as well. Get that bird comb out of the way first. And this is what happens sometimes over winter. I will have to come out here with my staple gun, glue and staple that to make a note to do that. Sometimes if you break them in between, it helps. It loosens them up so you don't pull them off. There's a lot of propolis. Okay, finally. And again, I'm seeing nectar. Like I say, I don't know if you can capture that on camera right in here, the shiny. Not a lot of it, but it's beginning, and that's good. That means adding sugar or fondant right now isn't horribly critical. They have some stores here. And more bee bread and nectar on that one. The same thing here. This one definitely needs super because they are starting to backfill with nectar, and that's not good. You want brood down here. Oh, this one's heavy. Yeah. It's got a combination of brood and nectar on it. Definitely need to stick a super on here so the bees have a place to properly store their nectar. Those are just drone cells, extra large drone cells, too small for queen cell. And again, I'm getting brood and nectar. Definitely need to super. Ouch, I just got stung in the back. If you recall, this is my mean hive going all last year. I requeened just before winter. Really haven't had a chance to make all new brood yet. So over the next month, this hive should change considerably. Well, they've already changed a lot, but they still are not as nice as my other hive. Bee bread and nectar. Brood pattern is awful sporadic, but that's because they're storing nectar and pollen everywhere. I haven't seen the queen, but given all the brood that's in here, it's highly likely she's in here somewhere. Well, maybe I just missed her. I don't see her here. Yeah, I must have missed her somewhere. Again, the good thing is there is no queen cells at this time. So that is a good thing. Let's get this put back together and throw a super on it.